people in Texas like to eat. You say, we're eating, that's going to help. And so we're going to talk about that in a few minutes. But our first presenting sponsor today is a dear friend. And come on up, Jen, if you don't mind. With the YMCA, now she's got acronyms behind her name so long I can't pronounce them all. But we're so glad you're here, Jen.
Thanks, Don. Good morning. It's been a while since I've been to the Summer Creek BizCon because I've got somebody else that comes, but she's at another event. We do actually have some exciting news, and by the way, thank you, Chamber and Memorial Hermann, for allowing the YMCA to co-sponsor this. It's really important for us to be present in the community down here because we do have a new location, and I know Brent was mentioned earlier, but the vision about 6 or 7 years ago for the YMCA and Humble ISD was to create an experience with the school district and the YMCA to provide everybody the opportunity to be healthy, to be fit, to have a place to go and belong. So we're able to do that. We have a director, Elisha Buster, who wasn't able to be here today, but her office is actually in Wood Creek Middle School. One of these meetings I'll actually bring the blueprint so you can kind of see Scott Brady, and I think one of his co-partners were our architects for that adventure. But we have some exciting things going down in the Summerwood area. Just want to make sure you guys are all aware. I did place some flyers on your tables. Right now we are registering for youth volleyball, soccer, and t-ball, baseball. And those programs go up to typically 8th grade. They're great opportunities for kids to be able to participate in a sport, be a part of a team, and belong. All of our programs are volunteer-led for the youth sports program. Elisha's also started a book club. That's exciting, and that's held actually in her office at Wood Creek Middle School. We also have an incredible relationship with Humble ISD. Thanks again to Humble ISD. We have an elementary after-school, YMCA after-school site in every elementary school in the school district. So on your tables you also have some information about the schools that are really located south, in the south part of the school district, so we can provide your kiddos a great experience after school and they're safe and they don't have to get on a bus. So really just want to thank everybody for the opportunity, for allowing us to come and speak, and for allowing us to be a co-sponsor with Memorial Hermann. They're a great partner of the Y. But really just look at our website. It's Lake Houston Family YMCA. The Lake Houston Y in Kingwood does support this location until we actually get the building, and many of you may have those questions later. There's no building in the near future, but hopefully within the next 3 to 5 years we'll be looking at a facility. But before that, we're starting the youth sports, like I said, and also I'm looking at Vivian. I know she's going to start one of our boot camps soon, but there are some physical fitness programs or group exercise programs. If you're a member, they're free. If you're not a member, then you can still participate. Again, just take a look at the flyers. I do have business cards. If anybody has any questions afterwards, come holler at me. Again, my name is Jenna Dare. I'm the director over a couple of Ys in this area, but I do have a director, Elisha Buster. You can always holler at Brent too, since he knows a lot about the Y as well. Thanks again.
Okay, so the next person, I don't know if you've seen this guy or not. He may be fairly familiar. Where are you, Keith? Where'd you go? Oh, hi, you can come on up. All right, so Heath Rushing is a great friend also. I'm not sure, I don't think he sleeps at all, but he's the COO of Memorial Hermann. He also is a school board member, and he is a family man. So Heath, we're so glad you're here.
Thank you very much. It's always good to come back and help sponsor these events that do so much for the communities that we serve. It's an honor to be co-sponsoring with the Y. And just to mention, the Y is actually in the middle of a big campaign of their own, their Partners Campaign, which is an annual fundraising event that allows the YMCA to do and offer services to families and children that couldn't otherwise support that. So I'm a part of that effort, and so I'm on a team that's helping do that. So if you'd like to participate, feel free to stop me at this meeting. It would be a great opportunity for your organization or you personally to help support that, and then help me look good in this fundraising effort so that I can be the top fundraiser. On the Memorial Hermann front, you guys hear us come and talk a lot about the Convenient Care Center that sits right on the front of this building. A brief announcement about that is on your table. And so we're pleased to offer another expansion of services here in the community, which is bringing orthopedics and sports medicine to the center 3 days a week, seeing patients in the clinic. And so we have 3 partners through UT Orthopedics and Sports Medicine that are full-time at Northeast Hospital. Their clinic is there full-time, and they're now going to be all rotating out here 3 days a week to see orthopedic and sports medicine patients. So that information is on your table. One other brief announcement about Memorial Hermann Northeast that we're excited about is the expansion of our OR services. The last 3 years has been a tremendous growth for us in 3 main service lines that drive our operating room: vascular surgery, orthopedic surgery, spine surgery, as well as general surgery and robotics. Our spine program has increased by 20% over last year in the operating room. Our vascular surgery program has increased by 17.5%. And our general surgery and robotics is up 9.5%. So that's good. The problem is when you have a certain number of ORs, that can start getting tight with that growth year over year. So we're actually pleased to announce that we'll be undergoing an expansion project that will bring in 2,600 new square feet of OR space. It will allow us to build out a brand new state-of-the-art endovascular hybrid surgical suite that will allow our vascular surgeons to do some higher-end procedures that they can't do at the hospital currently, and just offer further growth in that service line. It's also going to allow us to build out a specialized robotics room that will be specific for the surgeons that utilize the robot. Currently that's done in one of our larger OR rooms, but there are some things that we can do to make that a more efficient process for our surgeons. And so we have some of the busiest surgeons using that in the entire Houston metro area, and they're doing a great job with that. So this benefit to you in the community is so that we do not create a wait list for the surgery you need when you need it. And so this new capacity will enable us to be efficient with our processes, efficient with scheduling patients, so that our doctors can work with you to get you in for the surgery that you need at the time that you would like it. So I appreciate the opportunity to make those announcements, and if you have any questions, please look forward to talking with you afterwards. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Panera Bread. Anybody here from Panera Bread right now? Okay, can you come on up for just a second? No, okay, you don't have to if you don't want to. Okay, so a shy person, huh? She'll get over that. So one of the things that I want to just brag, and this is Annette Louise, and Annette, thank you very much. We really appreciate it. Panera Bread in Atascocita, who's providing the lunch today, is also Keith Isbell is the franchisee. Am I saying that correct? He owns Panera Bread there, and also the Carl's Jr. down here in Summerwood. They own 20 of them. And one of the things that I'd like to ask you to do, they are a terrific community sponsor, And so one of the things that moving into Summerwood, that tells you a lot when a new restaurant moves in like that. So we just, please tell him how much we appreciate you all. Thank you very, very much. So, okay, thank you. Now, before we move on to something else, I just want to brag on Mr. Hurst for just a minute. Mr. Hurst is now a year and a half into being the principal at a huge high school, and he is doing an absolutely wonderful job. We appreciate you, Mr. Hurst, so much, and just thank you for working with us and helping us to have this here. We do appreciate it. Thank you. All right, please give him a hand. One of the things that we owe a great debt to someone, and I'm going to pull this up, and I want to read it. You know, I'm in awe, actually, because when you're in a community like this and you get to know the people in the community, you learn to love this community. Sometimes, you know, you learn a lot, but then you find somebody that knows a whole lot more about it than you do. And today, if you remember, some of you were here, probably about a year and a half ago when Rick McCord Jr. came and spoke about Generation Park. You know, that thing that you see down on the panel? It's coming. But this was a vision that was done long time before any of us were here. My understanding, and Mr. McCord can tell me if this is true, the only way you could get down through here before was a helicopter or horseback riding. Yeah, that's right. So let me just read. Frederick R. McCord serves as chairman of McCord Development, Inc., a diversified real estate investment, assessment, management, Leasing and Development Company. He founded the company in 1973 and served as MDI's president for its first 35 years. During his tenure, he has led MDI with his strategic vision of the property and capital markets with a particular understanding for real estate investment. Nearly 3 decades ago, Mr. McCord began investing in land in northeast Houston, 4,000 acres of which is now Generation Park. His hands-on experience is broad and deep, including the development. It goes on and on. But one of the things, we owe a debt of gratitude because if it weren't for Mr. McCord, my understanding is Summerwood wouldn't be here. Fall Creek would not be here. Summer Creek would not be here. So please give him a round of applause. Thank you.
Well, I learned a long time ago when somebody's blowing smoke at you, never inhale. So I held my breath doing that whole little introduction over here. Don't need to hear it, but you're right, Don. We have had the great fortune of being out here for a long, long time. We did start in 1985. I know that you must have thought I was a baby at that time. But we started back then, and I had the great fortune of working 7 years on getting Westlake Houston Parkway put in. I had the privilege of helping the county get right-of-way and the TxDOT get right-of-way for Beltway 8. You kind of name it, we've been involved in it since day one, and then we had the great fortune of working in developing Summerwood, and if any of you live in Summerwood, the names that are on those lakes, you know, when you get to do something like that, you've got to have a little bit of fun. And so the only fun, I had a lot of fun, but the fun that I really had is each lake is named after one of our children. So when you go by Lake Ryan or Lake Meredith or Lake Ann, those are our children. Gratefully, they all live here in Houston, and my wife gets to see her grandchildren frequently. So it's a pretty neat deal. Fast forward, well, just during that process, I have to tell you a quick story about Commissioner Lee. As I wrote him in an email the other day, we've been great partners for a long time, and this area was transformed not just with Summerwood, but he also personally took it upon himself. And I don't forget these things. I forget what I had for breakfast this morning, but I don't forget sea changes to the neighborhood. But he personally took on Deucin Park and Eisenhower Park, and he made a determination to make those the go-to parks in Houston, Texas. And I will tell you, he deserves a huge round of applause. Just to bring you quickly up to date, we're still sworn to silence on FMC. As you know, they're our big customer. They'll be groundbreaking sometime in the very near future. We can't talk about their first phase. We can't describe their first phase, but it will be a game changer for this whole neighborhood. In addition, we are getting ready on April the 1st, Mike, I think that's the correct date, to commence $30 million worth of infrastructure improvements within Generation Park. Our first phase, we're going to be connecting Westlake Houston Parkway to Lockwood. And as you well know, the county's involved right now in widening North Lake Houston Parkway and hopefully soon to be widening Lockwood as well. So there's going to be some new interconnectivity going on in this neighborhood. We are delighted and honored to be here with you. Our legacy out in this quadrant of the city and county goes on a long, long time, and we're very proud of it. And I will just tell you that we're working on some opportunities now within Generation Park that will be as equally exciting as we are seeing with FMC. So I would just say hold on to your horses and just get ready for an interesting ride, because it is going to be, we're gonna have some fun out here. We're gonna bring some great employers to this neighborhood. We're gonna bring some great benefits to this neighborhood, and we are very excited about being part of this group. My son apologizes for not being here. He got trumped by this meeting by a call from his wife saying, "Dad, you gotta go." So that's why you're stuck with me today instead of him. But thank you very much for being here. And Don, we started Summerwood, I think you said 17 years ago. Commissioner, it goes a lot farther back than that. I think it was like 1992, so about 30 years ago when we first started doing some work out there. Yeah. Long, long time back. But thank you all for letting us be here today and for being part of this great community.
We so appreciate it. Thank you. I knew I'd get it straightened out. So let me make sure, 30 years ago, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Want to introduce a couple people that are over here also from McCourt Development. Rick Yarbrough, would you mind just raising your hand, please? Thank you so much. Dear Fred, he's helping us a lot. Mike Palhemus, am I saying that correctly? Now, I'm going to brag on you a little bit, and if I'm off, you can just tell me. But my understanding is Mike made a world of difference up in the Woodlands with the Exxon expansion. So it was a coup, it sounds like to me, that they got you over here. So we're happy about that too. So give them a round of applause. Anybody else? Was there anybody else from McCourt? Okay, very good. Okay, so as he mentioned, we have a tremendous opportunity today. We have a gentleman that I'm just going to read this because I think everybody's heard of L. Franco Lee. And I don't know that we have any idea all the good that he's done. So let me just read some things here. L. Franco Lee is a native Houstonian reared in Cashmere Gardens in the Cashmere Gardens section of the city of Houston. A graduate of Phyllis Wheatley Senior High School, attended San Jacinto College and earned a BS degree from the School of Technology at Texas Southern, along with related coursework at TSU and the University of Houston. Commissioner Lee served as state representative for District 142 Houston from 1979 to 1984, thereafter being elected county commissioner and sworn in as the first African-American Harris County commissioner in January of 1985. Currently serving in his 8th term as Dean of the Court after some 27 years as a member of Harris County Commissioners Court. Much of the Precinct 1 is comprised of the inner city, and over the years, Commissioner Lee has worked hard to improve the quality of life through the creation of accessible and quality services and programming for the residents in underserved areas while maintaining and enhancing services for the whole of the precinct and county. Not only has Commissioner Lee served the community well, he has also worked extensively on a number of substantive local, state, and national committees and boards. Commissioner Lee and his wife, Ethel Kay, have 2 children. Please give him a round of applause.
Thank you, Don. Thank you and good morning for giving me some of this time to express my appreciation for being your county commissioner at this point in my history. It's been an interesting, fast 30 years from 1985 to the present. As Mr. McCord has alluded to, we've had opportunities to partner, help and assist each other in development of this area, from mostly swamplands to community development to homes and a viable community that I see is blossoming into. About half of the 30 years that I served as county commissioner, this area was in Precinct 4, and then I inherited in Precinct 1 about 15 years ago with the goal of transforming the park that I knew, Deuce Park, Eisenhower Park, taking it back from the city and kind of master planning both of them together jointly. And that was going to be kind of the crowning point for quality of life, green space, and improving green space in this area, because it was such an attractive piece of property, 1,000 acres of public parkland that could be accessible to communities that was blossoming around it. And in addition to that, we were able to, on an accelerated pace, get the toll road built at about 10 years earlier than it would have been built otherwise. And that, again, spurred the things that you see now and that you're enjoying now. Having some successes also in flood control, greens bio, and kind of zeroing in on specific problems and solutions to those problems through the attention and through the federal government's partnering and contributing money to flood eradication, and that also contributed to how this partnership has mushroomed and grown. And And it's been a fast, real fast, and rewarding set of things to do. It's work in progress. It's never totally finished, as you understand, and it's not perfect. It's like making sausage in the public. But there is relief that you get from this, hopefully, from these things, whether it be the intersections that are congested and try to redesign them where they can handle more traffic, with the widening of East Mount Houston, or opening up Lockwood where you've got complete circulation. That is kind of how I see my role as a county commissioner in the improvement in the development and the safety, life and safety of a community like this. And if you can imagine having to have the issue of doing that in about 5 or 6 different places in the 300 square miles and about 1,040,000 people, you can imagine why you don't see me a whole lot. You see Drew Gutierrez or either Jeremy Rattler, who's some young guys that are much more nimble and faster and available, but they're extremely helpful, extremely bright individuals, and they've been an asset to my staff. And I appreciate you giving me this moment to speak. Have some information. Some of it is dated, and some of it will be updated, but I have some information to kind of tell you where we are currently, what kind of programs we do. We have special projects and programs that's interwoven into the precinct's activities, such as competitive swim, summer games, traveling naturalists, kind of trying to spark the interest of young people in learning in zoology. The traveling naturalists will come out and introduce native plant life and aquatic life to young people and have them to come to Houston Park, Challenger 7 Park, in sparking that interest in science and nature and stewardship of the things that we have some control of. So have information like that. Wanted to at least point you to those programs that we have had some success with. They are mature. They've been around a long time. The Street Olympics is about 25 years old. The aquatics program is 20 years old. And there are some other programs under that umbrella that you might want to replicate what you can do or join in to assist and be a part of. Thank you.
If anybody has any questions for Commissioner Lee, he's open for that. Any questions at all? Wow, you did awesome, didn't you? Oh, they're just, I guess they were trying to think it.
No, we were going to ask you about with all the growth in Westlake Houston, it's going to get jammed up. It already is starting to. Is that on the radar to hopefully widen that at some point? Or?
Westlake Houston?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
all the
it's
growth on coming, and it's already pretty.
in the design phase right now. So is East Mount Houston from 59 back to here, connecting to the toll road, and the Lockwood that I alluded to. It's also it's in a design phase, preparing to be improved. And that does not include what we're studying on immediate problems. Those are projects that are on the board and will be pursued and funded.
Mark, is that your
Yes,
question?
ma'am.
Yeah, we are talking about the east side of it, right? Or are we just talking about the north side of it? Westlake Houston.
Westlake Houston. You have the current information on Westlake Houston? No, the status of whether east or west side. I'll get you that
And it knows the same thing because of all the new homes and development coming in on Westlake Houston. It's just.
Yeah, you a little bit, you a little bit ahead of us. McCoy and McCoy types have been a little bit faster than what we could put in. Once we did the use of pay system, it spurred in a much faster way, which was something that we wanted to see. Yes, ma'am.
Woodland Hills, Lockwood, are you responsible for that, widening up that, or
I'll-
just continuing it through?
I will be, and if Mr. McCoy will donate those right away.
You've offered a little public opportunity here, so we have already given the county all the right of way. We've already spent almost $1 million on the plans, which are about done, so I think our part's done, and now we're.
That's what makes it a good party, is that we kind of meet in the middle somewhere. Was there another question?
All right, thank you.
Thank you all.
Give them a round.
Before we go to our next speaker, I wanted to acknowledge a couple people. Sam Strait, you and your crew, you did a great job of filming this. We appreciate this so much. Thank you very much. Also, does anybody in here know when the golf tournament is for the all-sports team, or Summer Creek High School? When is it? When? No, I'm sorry, for Summer Creek High School's all-athletic booster? Okay. All right, we'll try and find that out. And we'll send that out if we can get that. And so the next person that we want to have come up, and Kyle Urey, raise your hand, please. Okay, we owe this to Kyle Urey. As any of you have noticed driving up Westlake Houston Parkway toward 1960, we've got some wonderful new homes coming in up there. And one of the things that we're really excited about that just got an announcement recently was the Groves. So today we're very fortunate. And I think we got the Nicole Zimmerman. Where are you, Nicole? There you are, right there. Okay, obviously she's not Jim. That's her dad. And so I think she's, come on up, please. And she's going to be telling us some about the Groves. My understanding, about over 900 acres. And so, about 1,000. Okay, very good.